Hey there guys, okay, so in this video what we're going to be covering is what to do when your weight loss stops or when it starts to halt and you're really trying to take a look at your nutrition, or you're just getting going and it all seems a little bit overwhelming. You don't really know where to start or how to scale it and how to go step by step. So from here we're going to start with the most important aspect that you need to cover, most important thing you need to find out, and we're going to go step by step through. So you need to check off each level before you move on and do the next thing, okay? So here is our checklist. The first thing that you need to do if you're looking to lose weight and it's either stalled or you're brand new to it is to cut out the booze and the sugar. It is the single biggest thing that will help you, particularly if you're starting to work out. If you can cut down on the alcohol you drink, cut down on those sweets and the sugary stuff you eat, that in of itself will make a huge, huge difference. Now, if you've done that and you're still struggling, the next thing you should start to do is counting your calories and tracking the food you're eating. Now, the single biggest aspect of weight loss is calories. The reason we cut out booze and sugar first is because they add in so many calories to our diet that just doing that in and of itself will help you. It doesn't require any thought, it doesn't require any extra effort. You just have to cut that out and you normally see some weight loss start. With counting calories, you're starting to take up a little bit more of your time, so you have to start looking into what calories are in food. I recommend using apps to do it, but it's not 100% necessary. But ultimately, if you don't know what you're eating, if you don't know what's going in, it doesn't matter what you do else from there, you're fighting an uphill battle. Now, to make my point here, you can eat those calories. At this level, you can eat anything you want as long as it's within your calories. You can eat purely ice cream and chocolate if you really wanted to. As long as it's within your calories, you're absolutely fine. Now, what you'll find is if that's what you do, you'll be very, very, very hungry, which is why it's not recommended. It's also not the healthiest thing. But from a purely weight loss standpoint, it is doable. There have been people that have done it with eating just McDonald's, eating just Oreos, that sort of stuff. I don't recommend it, but that's the importance of calorie counting and tracking what you eat. So moving on from there, what I'm going to ask you to do is increase your water intake. One of the biggest things I find whenever I speak to guys before they come into our private 6-week course, I always ask them, how much water are you drinking? And the answer is always not enough. Now, the benefits of drinking water are phenomenal, to a point that if someone brought out a pill and could sell that pill that had all the benefits of water, they would be a billionaire. But because water's free, no one markets it, no one tells you the benefits, no one's trying to sell it to you, and so it goes to the wayside. But it increases your weight loss. It helps move around the vitamins and minerals around your body to help you feel better. It helps you sleep better. It will give you more energy. It keeps you fuller for longer. Helps your joints. Helps your skin. Helps your hair. All sorts of different things just by increasing your water intake. It's very, very important to give that a go. So once you've done that, moving on this is where we start getting into our macronutrients. So your macronutrients are fats, carbs, and protein. So what a lot of us will start to do is we'll jump straight in with, say, a low carb or a low fat diet or whatever it is. And as you can see here, if you just jump straight into that, you haven't built that foundation, you haven't built that understanding. You need to go step by step through this, otherwise the whole thing falls apart a little bit. So this is where we start getting a little bit more into the intermediate, heading towards more of the advanced stuff of nutrition. So start tracking your net macronutrients. And there are all sorts of calculators that tell you how much you should eat. My personal opinion is try and eat about 150 grams of protein a day, and then from there split your fats and carbs about 50-50. Then you can start to judge from there whether you want to adapt your fats and adapt your carbs depending on what you're doing. If you're doing lots and lots of exercise and lots of cardio, I would up your carb intake a little bit. And on those days where you're not perhaps exercising so much, I would drop your carb intake a bit and maybe increase those healthy fats just a little bit. So coming on to this is where you start adapting your macronutrients. So once you've got an understanding of your body, once you've got an understanding of what your macronutrients are, what they all do and how they help you, then you can start playing about with sort of the low fat, low carb. So if you've gone through all this and you find that your weight loss has stalled again, now we're getting definitely more towards the advanced sort of stuff. This is where you can start introducing aspects such as carb cycling, which is changing the amount of carbs you eat each day, and based on your activity level and based on how much recovery you need. This is where you can play about with going low carb. If you're, say, a little bit gluten intolerant and you want to try really lowering those carbs down, see how your body reacts. Some people will react brilliantly to it and they'll feel like they've got loads of energy, whereas others will feel sluggish and tired. So play about with it a little bit, find out what suits you, but don't jump straight into this level. Go through this process and it'll make it a little bit easier. And then finally, we have supplementation. Again, these are so this is pushed a lot. So here we're talking your protein shakes. Here we're talking vitamin supplements. Here we're talking even things like maybe fat burning tablets, that sort of stuff. But don't start with this. Under here is like your weight loss shakes. Again, don't start with it. Is your pre-workouts, is your BCAAs, all sorts of different supplements that are pushed. Again, the reason that a lot of us start here is because this is what's promoting, this is what's advertised. You know, people are trying to sell us their supplements and trying to sell us their products. Really, this will probably count for less than 5% of your ultimate weight loss, of your ultimate effort. So starting here, you know, you're fighting an uphill battle. But it can help. It can play a little bit part. So I hope that this has helped. Go step by step through, and any time you find yourself stalling or your weight going back up again, go straight back to this. Go straight back down. You go, right, am I cutting out that booze and sugar? If no, then that's your starting point. Okay, then move on. Go, am I counting my calories and tracking my food? What's my water intake like? Are my macronutrients on point? Should I maybe try going a little bit lower fat, maybe lower carb? Even things like intermittent fasting can fall into here. So trying different things like that. And then finally you can go, maybe there are some supplements I'm missing. Maybe I'm low in certain vitamins, and that's what's really pushing me there. But that's really the more advanced level of stuff. Okay. I hope that all makes sense, and I hope that has helped. Any questions, as always, drop into the Facebook group or message me directly. Take care.